Hello everybody, how are you? Today I'm talking about anger. Yes, indeed, anger. I'll tell you all about it on the other side. So let me explain the structure of this particular conversation, because these were two conversations I had with the emissaries, but at separate times. In the first conversation, I was really angry. I was feeling really angry. And I talked to them about it. And then I had a follow-up conversation where I wasn't. Okay? So, what happened was this. I was talking with the emissaries and I was aware that I was just feeling off kilter. I was short-tempered. I had strange thoughts that I wouldn't normally have. Of like, I don't know, like things I was saying to myself. It was just, I wasn't feeling right, you know. I'm not the Buddha, but I'm normally a bit chillaxed, and I wasn't. So I said to the emissaries, I'm worried about this feeling, you know, what's this about? And I had some ideas, and they said, don't worry about it. It's the energies at the moment. And this was like a week ago, okay? They said it's the energies at the moment. And they said there's a shift happening, but don't worry, it'll settle in. It's just because there's a shift coming and it'll calm itself down for you, okay? But they said it's because the shift is moving us into a new stage. And I said, what stage is that? And they said it's moving us into the warrior stage, okay? Their words, my words converted from the idea, but the warrior stage. And the thing is, anger is an emotion, you know, lots of people, it's got a bad rap, anger. It's got a bad rap. Never mind anger, you know, don't worry about it. You're not that bad. Anger is a great emotion. It's the emotion, it's the feeling that gives us the energy to change, to make changes. So we're angry and we put that into action. You know, angry people are the ones who lash out, aren't they? You know, the ones who do something. Very angry. When you're angry and you don't do anything, you just let it simmer inside. Well, that's heart attack place, yeah? So, anger's action. Anger's action. So I said, hang on a minute then. Warrior stage, warring against who? And they said, not against anybody. It's not a war against anybody. The warrior stage is the stage where you are getting prepared to protect yourself. And it's to protect yourself emotionally, what they said. Because this place that we're in at the moment, this phase, is a one where our emotions are going to be affected. They're going to be attacked. And so we need to protect ourselves by getting into this place of, and what they called it, they said, it's not blind anger that you're feeling, is it? You can still think. And I said, yeah, I can still think and process. I'm just aware that I'm kind of, whoa. And they said, but that's okay. It's not blind anger, it's righteous anger. Okay, and we talked about righteous anger, the anger of Jesus going into the temple and turning over the tables, slapping the Pharisees daft, or the money lenders. Yeah, it wasn't the Pharisees. The Pharisees slapped him daft, but money lenders, yeah? So that's righteous anger. Well, that's absolutely fine. Absolutely fine. And it's needed. We need more of that in truth. You know, that's what they've been trying to beat out of men. This is this whole propaganda stream of making men feel that they shouldn't be men. They've taken away, you know, they've emasculated men on purpose, because men, at the end of the day, men are the ones they're the warriors, or they're not. And I'm talking about the act of going to fight. You know, traditionally men have always been the ones who've gone off to war, and the women have stayed at home to take care of the children. Women are warriors too, but that's a very, very different role. You know, the strength that women have is, I'm constantly in awe of the strength that women have. But how I see the beautiful way that women and men work together, I don't know how you feel about this, but I'll give you an example. You know, my wife, has loads of ideas about stuff that has to be done. She's got loads of ideas, brilliant ideas I would never have. She tells me them, and then 2 or 3 days later, I find myself doing them. I don't plan to do them, and yet I find myself doing them. But it works beautifully. It works beautifully because it isn't something that she could do. It can be something quite physical, and I'll do it. And this is this beautiful dance that we have that they're trying to take away, which is the strength. The strength of a partnership is the two people, and the different strengths that they bring to this whole party. They say behind every successful man is an even more successful woman, and that is so true. The women have such an important role, but when it comes to sorting out this shit, when it comes to actually standing up and saying no, then I would expect the men to be at the front. I would expect the men to be there, taking lead, taking charge. That's always been the role, hasn't it? And that's what they've been trying to take away from us. So you got all these floppy men go around and shake hands with young people. Dead fish handshake, right? Not all, but a lot of them. A lot of them don't even know what gender they are. Never mind know how to shake somebody's hand properly. Anyway, that's what they said. And that's how I was feeling, like, whoa, right? So they said, we need the strength, this anger to get through, to be warriors. So then a few days later, I was having a chat with them and they said, how's your anger coming on? And I said, well, I feel much better. Much, much better now. I'm kind of in I'm more sprightly, I feel more energetic, etc. And they said, we feel for you. Because here on the earth plane, they said that, the energies are always ebbing and flowing. They're always changing. And so it must be difficult to manage them, especially when we are resonating with those energies. But what they said was that the energies will always ebb and flow. But they said when the energies are down into the heavier energies, they said you needn't worry about it. Don't worry that there's something wrong. Just understand, accept that this is what happens. Sometimes we have great days where we're vibrating at a beautiful level and sometimes not. And what they described it as is this. They said, when you stand on the shorefront looking at the sea, what you notice is this. Before a big wave comes, the sea actually draws away. It regresses. It pulls away. And then a big wave comes. Boom. And if the sea isn't withdrawn, normally the waves aren't very big. But when a big wave comes, when a tsunami comes, the very first sign of a tsunami is that the sea gets sucked in. And what they were saying was that's what's happening at the moment. Before a big wave, then we're going to get this drop. But understand that as it drops and as we're feeling, oh my God, I feel out of kilter, I don't feel well, understand that it's going to come back, and it always comes back more because we're in this increasing vibrational change. And so it's kind of like this, isn't it? Like up and higher and higher. So we have to just roll with it and understand that day to day is going to change, but we're always moving in the right direction. We always are. Always are. And now I feel fab. But I still have that underlying, I don't want people to piss me off. I don't want people to mess with me. And I certainly don't want people to mess with my family. It's like, back off. Yeah, that's how I feel. And I think that's a great place to be. And I think, we need to be there because we're going to have challenges. We're going to have challenges coming up. They're not done yet. The bastards. They're still at it. And especially with fear. One of the biggest, remember that anger is stronger than fear. Okay? Anger is stronger than fear. How does that work? Well, I don't know if you've ever been in a situation where you're under threat, but you're very angry, and you pay no heed to the danger. It's not an issue because you're so angry. That's why anger will always supersede fear. And that's why it's important. It's important for us to be able to tap into that anger when we need to, but it's that righteous anger. It's a very different anger. Blind anger is terrible. It's a waste of time. You do not think properly. You go into the fight or flight where you're not thinking properly and you make mistakes. You know, that's why boxers always try and intimidate the partner to get them angry, because then they don't box very well. Righteous anger is very different. It's controlled, it's measured, and it's timely. And that's where we need to be. So, there you are. Let's get angry. But in a righteous way. How about that? I love you all. I'll speak to you all soon.